Hey everybody, and welcome to another GeoGuessr video. Today I'm really excited to share that I've finally gotten a Chicago perfect score time in less than a minute. I've been trying to improve my Chicago perfect score time for over 4 years now, pretty much as long as I've been playing GeoGuessr. Can't believe it's finally happened, it doesn't feel real still. Before I show the sub 1 minute attempt though, I'm gonna play a few more attempts that beat my minute 23 time from a few months ago. So without any further ado, let's get into it. This first attempt here is actually a failed run. I was making very good time, but I messed up the pinpoint at the end, so I'm going to use this as a chance to talk a little bit about how GeoGuessr speedrunning has changed in the last few months, as well as some ways that Chicago speedrunning works in general. So as of at least a few months ago, you can now press the spacebar to guess instead of clicking on the button. This helps save a tiny bit of time on each round since you don't have to move your mouse to click the guess button anymore, so it saves about a second or so on each round. Movement on Google Street View is still kind of messed up as well, which means that getting locations near intersections is all the more important, or near recognizable landmarks, just things that minimize the amount of movement that you need to do. So that means if you do need to move, remembering where you started without going back to the starting location is all the more critical. So the way Chicago speedrunning works is it's very dependent almost entirely on knowing the way the grid system works, so knowing where certain streets are, how it's organized, and just having a feel for the way the city works is the most important thing to getting a perfect score. So there's a lot that we can take away from this failed attempt, knowing how Chicago speedruns work and how GeoGuessr works now. You're probably noticing that every time I go back to the starting location, it wastes a couple seconds, so for runs with this kind of optimization and dependency on street names, clicking the flag is the most important thing to avoid. I've been trying to get better at not doing it, but it's a very tricky habit to break. And then this also means that having locations that are easy to remember where you came from, not being in the middle of a long block like that round was, or getting ones that are near intersections are very, very important. So with all of that said, let's get into some actual successful 25k attempts, ending with the sub 1 minute time. So the first location dropped us in an alley, but I decided to push through anyway and see if I could figure it out. We were actually in an area that isn't too far away from home for me, so I recognized it right away. Went back to the start here, unfortunately had to do that to figure out which alley we came from, and there we were right next to that building. Second round again put us into an alley. I kind of zigzagged my way out going south and east to this intersection. I was kind of messing up my angling with the street signs here, which wasted a few seconds, but we were at Montrose and Mozart. Now, this one again depended on me finding the street of Mozart fast, which I didn't do as quickly as I would have liked, and again I had to go back to the start just to make sure I was doing things right. Next round is another one that's not super far away from home for me, next to Meathead's, which is a local burger chain, so recognize that one right away. This one went north to get to the street signs here. We are at 62nd and Aberdeen, so a nice classic south side solve with the numbered streets here. Found 62nd, and then again had to waste a few seconds trying to find Aberdeen, because I'm not super familiar with it. Found it there at the end, and last round here put us in an industrial park, which again had me wasting a lot of time. We were at Knox and 43rd, so we have 43rd on the south side, and then I just had to find Knox. And so you're seeing here that it's very critical to know where these streets are. I'm looking around all these streets starting with K, they're organized by letter like that, and I was just not finding Knox. It took way too long to figure it out. Again clicked the flag to go back to the start, and finally made the guess there. So this run ended up with a final time of 1:22, exactly 1 second faster than my 1:23, so not the worst run by any means. It was a new PB for me at the time. Hey, future me editing this video here. So that is not a 1:22. I don't know what happened to my 1:22. I definitely had one. There is 100% an attempt like that somewhere, but I can't find the file for it, and I'm too deep into editing already, so we're just gonna roll with it. So I really don't know what happened to that file. But anyway, back to the video. But as you can see, there are just a lot of things that I needed to improve on in my future attempts. The next attempt here improved my time by quite a lot though. I was trying to practice not going back to the start, all that good stuff that goes into this, so let's play it back. The first location here dropped us just south of a big intersection. We were at Ashland and Augusta, which are two pretty big streets in Chicago. So the big thing I messed up with this attempt is that I was zooming into the wrong areas first. So you can see there I was looking too far east to start, which wasted a couple seconds. Next round here dropped us at McVicker and 59th, which is going to put us just west of Midway Airport here, and we were at the end of the street, so once again, as soon as I found McVicker, I was easy enough to just slam the spacebar and move on to the next round. Round 3 was where I wasted the most time in this run. We were at 85th and Winchester, so 85th, of course, is not hard to find on the south side, numbered street, but I was wasting way too much time trying to find Winchester. As you can see here, I was really struggling to find it. Found it in the end, and then wasted a couple seconds almost clicking on that flag. I'm telling you, it is muscle memory. Round number 4 was actually at my university, Chicago. I've walked down the street many, many times, and again I was zooming into the wrong area like a fool. And our last round here dropped us at the Jane Byrne interchange, which is notorious in Chicago, always under construction, so I dropped my marker down and guessed right away. Ended up with the 25k and a final time of 1 minute and 1 second. I was not expecting that at all. I thought I had wasted way too much time on round 3. That once again proves just how important outside knowledge is and just knowing the streets. As you can see, I didn't know where Winchester was exactly, which cost me tons of time, but I knew exactly where Jane Byrne Interchange and my university are, of course, so that saved me some time. Okay, it's finally time to get into the sub 1 minute attempt. I really hope you guys enjoy this. Let's play it back and see how I do. The first location dropped us right at an intersection, which was a very promising start. We were at Michigan and 124th place, so I found it there pretty fast and made the guess right away. Next round was also at an intersection, Langley and 109th, so it's easy enough to line yourself up with 109th, but as you can see there, at Langley, 109th wasn't actually marked, so I just kind of had to assume that it was that one driveway there. Thankfully it was. Next round here again, the street signs were in view. We were at Kedzie and 24th. Didn't actually catch it. We'll see what I guess at. Okay, 25th, cool. But again, right at the intersection. Round 4 was once again another Chicago location. I've walked down this street many, many times. I did have to go back to the start because it's kind of confusing. There's lots of different streets and paths there. Found it in the end. Last round here, I did have to move a little bit to get to streets, but we were at 51st and Racine, which is again on the south side. All south side locations on this run. Had to go back to the start again. I really shouldn't have done that. Would have saved me some time if I didn't, but dropped it next to the houses. Got the 5k. And the final time for this perfect score was 55 seconds. I could not believe it. Again, I wasn't sure if I'd made it underneath the 1 minute mark. I really wish I had been recording with Facecam because you guys would have seen my crazy reaction to that. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and there is still room for improvement. So maybe one day I'll get under 50 seconds, which would just be insane. But until that day comes, thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you next time.